right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. 2 days in a row, I get the pleasure of seeing all of you in the same room. Okay, well, we are here to celebrate the hiring of employees and also some promotions as well. And so let's begin this festivity. We will do so first with those that we need to place under oath. And as we do every time in this celebration, I ask the new employee, or maybe relatively new employee, and the supervisor to come up here. And before we administer the oath, or I administer the oath, I would like for the supervisor to share a little bit about this employee, why the supervisor decided to hire this person, anything else the supervisor wants to say, and then give the employee an opportunity to share some remarks, and then I'll go ahead and administer the oath. The first one I'd like to come up here is Patricia Hill. Where's Patricia? And Concelia is here because the chief of the Child Welfare Division, for which Patricia is now employed in, is out on assignment right now with Tiffany Moen, who is also a new employee and is not able to be sworn in today because they've already had a prior commitment. That's extremely important. And of course, no matter what's going on, our children in this county always come first. So, with that said, Concelia, yes. I'm going to turn it over to you to make some introductions and remarks about Patricia.
Okay. Carol apologizes. She gave me something to read, so I'm just going to read her words. And it starts off with, first of all, I'd like to apologize for not being able to be here to present Ms. Hill to the court and witness her swearing in. I'm scheduled for an interview for a Superior Court case, which I could not change. In thinking about why I chose Ms. Hill, I came out with a list of attributes for her. As each of you are aware, Ms. Pat worked in programs for several years as a part-time employee, so I had the unique advantage to witness her involvement and work ethic firsthand. So that was one of the first things that stood out for me about Ms. Pat. I found her to be well organized each time I accompanied her on various projects. I observed her to have a very good work ethic. She did not wait for someone to tell her to start or finish her work or a project. I also found out to be a good steward of time. She was attentive to her work schedule and had very few absences. In order to validate my observations, I met with her previous supervisors to ascertain the evaluation of Ms. Pat's work. My observations were confirmed, and I'm very pleased to have Ms. Pat as part of the Child Welfare Unit as a CASA supervisor over the VOCA grant, and look forward to working with her in years to come. And Ms. Carol goes on to say, Tiffany Moen will be sworn in at a later date as she's accompanying me on a Superior Court investigation. Ms. Moen possessed similar attributes, and she came from Superior Court, where she worked for 10 years as Judge Simmons' calendar clerk. She'll be assuming the Superior Court caseload for child welfare, and I look forward to working with Tiffany as well. Welcome, Ms. Patricia. We're so happy to have
you. Miss Pat, as everyone loves to call you, okay?
Yes.
Share some remarks.
I just want to say, first of all, good morning. I've had the opportunity to work and interact with different departments here, and I learned a lot, and we worked as a team. I enjoyed each one of you and loved each one of you. Now I'm pursuing my passion, which is CASA. I became a CASA volunteer in the year 2007 to DeKalb County. And from then on, I saw that we can be the voice for the child. And now I'm with a great group of team people, CASA unit, the team. I'm enjoying, and I plan on retiring from CASA and come back as a volunteer.
And for those who are new and may not yet know all the operations of the juvenile court, which are many, as you can see by the many faces in this room, occupying many different positions and titles and roles. But when they mention Superior Court, which may kind of, for those who are new, say, "What? We're the juvenile court," okay? But we do have a partnership with the Superior Court because, Superior Court, they decide custody cases just like we do. And some of those custody cases may involve allegations that are bantered about that go to abuse and neglect, just like we deal with over there. And so, in the wisdom of our elected Superior Court judges, they said, you know what, we need to have some investigation into these as well so we can make the most informed decision in the best interest of these children. And so, knowing that there's already an excellent investigative body in this county through our court-appointed special advocate division, our child welfare division, years ago, Judge Deborah Benefield, on behalf of the Superior Court judges, called upon me to work up the partnership, especially train these in custody cases, and we've been doing those for the Superior Court for a number of years now. Again, always promoting the best. And it's very unique. We're the only CASA in this state that has this type of partnership, and it's very, very unique. So, Ms. Pat, I know as the presiding judge and on behalf of my colleagues, Judge Simmons, who is present here today, Bobby Simmons, and Judge Butler is not able to be here. She has a prior commitment. But on behalf of the judges, it is a real joy. I've known you as well, just like Carol has described here, and she is 100% and more accurate in her description of you, because I've had the pleasure of making the same observations as well, and I'm so happy that you are working in the CASA and fighting for kids. So with that said, let's go ahead and minister the oath and make you 100% completely official. How's that sound? Okay, all right. Let's see here. Okay, now all of these oaths for CASA and for probation officers, they differ a little bit. So before I have you raise your right hand, there is a preamble that I must share, and it goes as follows. In recognition of the need for representation of the abused or neglected child's best interests in court proceedings, the social service system, and the community, the Juvenile Court of Clayton County hereby approves you as a CASA volunteer officer of this court. Approval by this court, Ms. Pat, certifies that you as a volunteer have met the required qualifications, including consent to a criminal records and fingerprint check. Now, isn't it nice to know that you're not a criminal? Right. Okay. All right. Pre-service CASA training. And so, with that said, I hereby administer the oath. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you, Patricia Hill, understand that the duties and responsibilities of a CASA volunteer of this court, and pledge to perform these duties to the best of your ability, and that your duties do not include the practice of law or the performance of services assigned to other agencies or professionals involved in the case, and that you further pledge, Ms. Pat, to act in good faith, to advocate for the best interest of each child assigned to you, to remain objective yet caring, and to make unbiased recommendations to the court, and to keep all matters confidential and respect the privacy of all involved, and to follow through on all tasks required for each case assigned. If you so swear or affirm, say I do.
I do.
Thank you so much, and God bless. Now let's get you to sign this now. Here we go. And today's the 22nd. I want to mess it up. Is that right, my official secretary? Okay. You would think a judge who signs orders all the time would always know the date. Okay. There we go, Ms. Pat.
Thank you.
Great, and we will have this file stamped, okay? You will get a copy of it to do with it whatever you want. Okay? Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Vicki Gordon. Vicki is being sworn in as a juvenile court officer. She's assigned to our Restorative Justice Division. For those of you who are not familiar with the Restorative Justice Division, it is that division for which all the probation officers in here can be thankful for not having a higher caseload. Okay? The Restorative Justice, they specialize in the handling of your low to medium risk kids. Kids who do get in trouble, but are identified through an assessment system that they do not need to go deeper in the system because the research, the empirical research shows that if you treat low-risk kids as high-risk offenders, then you will actually turn them into high-risk offenders, when had you not really touched them at all, they never would have become a high-risk offender. All right? And in proof of that, I want you to know that we have done a 3-year study of our 2010 diverted cases that were sent to Restorative Justice Division. And we're talking about 700, that year, 759 cases were sent to the Restorative Justice Division to work with these kids, provide education, other types of programs, treatment, substance abuse, things of that nature. I want you to know that of all those, we tracked those kids for 3 years. 70% of them never came back. Never came back. And that is actually a very low recidivist rate. And the 30% that did come back, over 90% of them came back with only misdemeanor type offenses, the same type of stuff, okay? And so I'm very proud of our Restorative Justice Division, and so I am going to now turn it over and let you go ahead and share some remarks about our new employee.
Okay. Vicki Gordon was the first person that we interviewed for the mediation unit. She was supposed to take over the part-time position. And that being said, she is the first face that our respondent and victim comes in to see. So she basically sets the mood for the mediation. She's responsible for scheduling the mediation. She speaks to the victim. She speaks to the mediator. She sets the right time. She makes sure the schedules don't collide. And so with that knowledge, we went into the interview. So Vicki comes up and she interviews really well. And as she finishes the interview, she's sitting there, she goes, "Oh, I'm so nervous." But the thing is that she set the bar for the interview. So every other person that came in after her was just like, "What? Why? No, we need to stop." So, so it was really easy to, sit down and pick. I sat with Miss Barker and we went over the choices and we were like, okay, this is basically a no-brainer. So Vicki started December 1st, and I walked her around and introduced her as the new Tanya. And she has proven herself to step in seamlessly. She does a very, very nice job in the month and a half that she's been here.
I'm nervous today, just like I was during the interview. Well, I'm happy to be here, and it's great to work with a bunch of dedicated professionals.
Well, that reminds me of that one general defending the Battle of the Bulge at one town, and the Germans asked him to surrender. He sent the message back, "Nuts." Very short, concise, but very impactful. Thank you for that, Vicki. So, Vicki, let's go ahead and administer your oath. And if you will please raise your right hand. Do you, Vicki Gordon, as a duly appointed officer of the Juvenile Court of Clayton County, Georgia, solemnly swear that you will faithfully discharge your duties as such, in accordance with the orders of this court, and that you will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the state of Georgia, if you so swear or affirm. Just say, I do. I do. Congratulations. Okay. And if you will just sign right here. Thank you. Thank you. And I will sign it. And we will get it file stamped and get you a copy.
Okay.
Thank you again, Vicki. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next one. Whoa, I don't know who this fella is. Rinaldi Rollins. Who's Rinaldi? Rinaldi. I knew you'd be coming back. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You know this is home.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. And you will never leave again. Okay. Because you know what? The second time around is always sweeter.
It is.
Stacy.
Well, we all know Rinaldi. Woo! We're so glad he is back. When he left, I did not want him to leave. In fact, we had conversations when he told me that he was leaving because he thought he wanted to work with the adult system. No, that did not work. Because like I told him, his gift, not only is he, all your ROP things, he's punctual, he gets the job done, he's good with his case notes and all of that. He's beyond that. His gift is children and their mothers, and we had a long discussion about this. He has a way of talking to them, showing them respect, letting them know what they need to do, even though they don't want to do it. He can talk them into it, and they're like, oh, yay, this is fun. I'm glad you took, that is his gift. And when he left, he took that with him. And when he decided to come back, it was like, oh, yes, I definitely need you back here because of your commitment to our families and to this court. So like he said, you can't leave for a while. And we are so glad you're back. You could tell by the minute he left, everybody's like, when's he coming back? When's he coming back? He finally came back, and we're glad to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Rinaldi?
Well, it all started when I was a child. Well, I really enjoyed working here. The first go around, I really just wanted to try my hand at something new. But when I went across the street to state court working with the adults, I just didn't get that same feeling because it was 35 people outside waiting for me to speak with them. Somebody would really have problems and be working here for so long. We get in debt with working with those families, and we couldn't do that there. It was like, just do your community service, just pay money, all right, get out. Somebody else has to come in. And I really wasn't feeling that, so I really wanted to work with kids once again. And working here, I really missed it. I really consider all of you as family, and I'm really glad to be back. So I really like to thank Judge Teskey, Stacy, Colin, Mr. Johnson, everyone, and thank you all for the warm welcome, because I really did miss it here. Because I know some people didn't miss me because I would just visit, peek my head in the window. Hey, what you doing? But I am definitely glad to be back, and I really feel at home being here.
Now you know that working at the front end is more impactful than working at the back end.
Yes, sir.
See, Judge, I told him that before he ran away. Bad kids, he ran away, but we didn't lock the door.
That's right. That's right. Yes. I mean, like we've done for years before the state of Georgia actually passed the law to mimic Clayton County, we don't lock up runaway youth, okay? So we didn't, Judge is right, okay? We didn't lock the door on you, not let you come back in. This is your home. We let you through the front door, okay? And you're not going to escape through the back door. That's right. All right? And and here's the thing, too. I mean, it takes a special gift and talent to work with young people and families, as Stacy was mentioning. And as we travel the country, being a national model court for the Annie Casey Foundation and other foundations and helping others to reconfigure their justice system, we have a mantra that we share with other jurisdictions around the country. Every kid becomes an adult. If you want to reduce the number of adults in prison, start spending more time and resources on your kids. All right? And I'm glad that Clayton County makes an investment in their children, and that our county administrators, our commissioners, have made a dedication, a commitment in resources by employing y'all and giving us an opportunity to employ people like Rinaldi and all of you, okay, to be able to show your talent and gifts and to improve our system here in benefiting kids. So let's get you back under oath again, Rinaldi, okay? All right, let's see here. Where are you, Rinaldi? There you go. Okay. Do you, Rinaldi Rollins, as a duly appointed officer for the Juvenile Court of Clayton County, Georgia, solemnly swear that you will faithfully discharge your duties as such, in accordance with the orders of this court, and that you will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the state of Georgia? If you so swear or affirm, just say, I do.
I do.
Congratulations. All right. Okay, what did I do with my pen? All right, there we go. If you'll sign right there. Are they supposed to be signing two of these? Okay. On those, I'll give you those and make sure that. We sign two in case we lose one on the way to the clerk's office. There we go. I need to learn to sign like you do. Yeah, all the orders I. Perfect. Thank you. We will get this file stamped and a copy to you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we want to make introductions of the new employees who do not require an oath, okay? We have, why don't we do this, both of them from the Restorative Justice Division. So why don't we have Ms. Mosley and Ms. Ham come up and do both of them since they're both from the same division. Yes.
Good morning. We have Ms. Kanisha Ham, who's a recent graduate from Clayton State. Mr. Johnson said, Ms. Burke, I got somebody you want to interview. She's been hounding me about the job at the court. She's been very persistent. I said, okay, Mr. Johnson, I'll check her out. Came in for the interview and she proved herself well. I asked her, one of the questions we always ask is, what do you know about the Clayton County Juvenile Court? Nobody ever seems to know anything. She came in with her documentation, read it off some facts about the court, and I was done from there. It was a wrap.
Wow.
So she is currently preparing to go to law school. Pray for her.
What law school?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna apply to all the ones in Georgia though.
Well, good.
She's scheduled to take the LSAT next month, so be praying for her. I don't know if she wanted me to share that, but I've been pushing her and coaching her to stay focused. But she's a joy to have, very serious. She'll do well working here with the court and anything that she puts her mind to.
So what did you learn about the court?
I know that the court is very involved in the community, which I like. I like to be active, and I really want to increase my community service. So.
Wow, very good. And so why are you interested in law school? I mean, us lawyers, we just got to know, why do you want to, you know, well, why do you want to go through all that drama and pain and suffering? And
Well, I sing as well, so I'm interested in entertainment law.
really?
Yes. So yeah, I feel like that'll be a good way to like merge the two. Sing a little more. Oh God. You'll see me when I try out for The Voice. So.
There we go. Way to go. I like that. All right. I'll let you share some more on your own. Any remarks you want to make?
Oh, I just want to.
I was just, quizzing you. I was doing a cross-examination. I am a lawyer after all. Isn't it true? Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to thank everyone for having me. I've only been here for a short amount of time, but I look forward to the things to come.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Mosley.
This is Mr. Kai Mosley. He is also a graduate from Clayton State University. And I consider the program assistant position that he currently holds. This person is my right-hand person. I don't have time to spoon feed this person. I need to be able to give them a file, and let's say I miss instructions, they know exactly what to do with the file. So when I'm doing my interviewing, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm very detail-oriented, so I'm looking for somebody that pays close attention to details, that is a thinker, that asks questions, that also wants to learn the system and understand the system and follow the system. So we did our interviews, and I noticed that he has some work with the IRS, and I said, you know what, he has to be detailed if he's working with the IRS. So there are certain things that I'm looking for when I'm screening for applicants. Interviewed him, very intelligent, speaks very well. Again, he's proven me to be the right choice for the position. Welcome back.
And I want to let both of you know, I started my collegiate career at Clayton State, but when it was Clayton Junior College, okay? So that goes like way, way, way back, okay? So there you go. And in fact, I've been named an alumni of the year at Clayton State. So I'm very beholden to Clayton State, so you have graduated from a very, very fine collegiate institution. So, Mr. Mosley, what do you have to share?
Good morning, everyone. I've been working here since November 10th and juggling IRS at the same time. I do enjoy this environment. I feel like it's much easier, relaxed. I do enjoy getting to know the program, especially divergent programs we have, learning about the workshops, community environment, outreach. Because my whole thing was when I came here, I never saw Boys and Girls Clubs. I was like, how do they do community programs when normally people start with recreation centers? So learning about the workshops, what we do here, interaction with the parents on informal hearings, that was really great to know and learn about the juvenile justice program. I began my interest mainly at Clayton State when I wanted to do some law. I went from being a writer into doing law, so this was definitely the field I wanted to start.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Who's on the debate team?
Debate team. You hear what Tabitha said? He was on the debate team.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I got it.
Yeah. So are you interested in pursuing law school, or,
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Yeah. That's,
It could be tax law, it could be DORA, I'm not sure yet.
Right. Well, and that's the thing that I remember when we met before the Christmas break, we were all down here, and that's one of the things that John, Colin, and I, as, I guess administrators of this particular agency, is that, while you're here, we want to make this a place that you can develop, you can grow, because if there's a time that you decide to leave, okay, we want you to be leaving because it's a place where it's your next step in life, and it gives you more money, and it's part of your vision, your plan in life. And we're happy to that extent because we can look back and say we did our job. Tabitha as the chief, of restorative justice, us judges, John and Colin, that we've done our job in helping you and all the others, okay, grow professionally and personally. And so anything that you see, any thoughts, any ideas you have, we have a process, don't we, that goes up, that the chain, so that we can take whatever ideas that you have, that you can bring to us, because that breath of fresh air is very important, and that's why we have grown to become a national model court. It's because everyone in here shares their ideas and brings new, fresh ideas for us to grow and better the way we do business. Thank you so much. So, all right, with that said, let's give them another hand. We want to recognize their employees who went from part-time to full-time, okay? Now, I want you to know that's extremely important here, because I am, you know, as I said yesterday morning, you know, the judge or the presiding judge, if there's more than one judge, is the one who appoints the employees. And so in my administrative capacity in setting policies, and together with John and Colin, you know, we make sure that when you are hired here, that we try to promote from within. We want you to know that when you come here, that there is actually an opportunity for growth here, and that will help keep you and your talent here, okay? That is true with those in part-time positions, that we want to try to move those in part-time positions to full-time positions, which is also another signage indication of the fact that we put more weight on those who are already here, working here. Because remember what we tell you, okay, when we promote, there may not be interviews. Why? Because every day you come to work, you're being interviewed, right? Okay. And so that's why we put emphasis on people already here. So let's recognize those right now. Let's begin with Christopher Thornton, Juvenile Court Officer in Field Operations.
Chris is another one of our employees that left us and came back because he knows how great we all are here. He was the intake nighttime on-call officer. So I know all of the people that are on call loved him, because when he was working, that meant that they didn't have to be on call. So my workings with Chris is as him being an on-call worker. As a supervisor, we don't like to get calls. And I don't even know if I may have gotten one call from Chris. So I know that he is a good decision maker, that he can make those quick decisions, which we have to do quite often out in the field.
All right, Chris.
Well, you know, like she said, I left and I came back, and you know, I'm glad I did. I just want to thank Kathy and Stacy for both everything they've done. I want to thank Mr. Johnson and Colin and the judges for, you know, believing that I could do it. And like Stacy said, the whole self-taught thing, it's not self-taught. The other POs, everybody in the court has helped me at some point in time. You know, not one time have I gone to anybody in this room and asked for help and they said, oh, go talk to your supervisor. They all took the time to step back, take a break from what they were doing, and to explain to me every single thing, even if it had nothing to do with them. So I just want to thank all my coworkers for it too, and yes, I do plan on staying. So.
All right. Yeah. We let you in, but we lock the door after you get in, you and Rinaldi, okay? Well, again, two at the same time, Tanya and Tracy in the restorative justice. So Tabitha is the chief of the restorative justice. Come on up here. Again, going from part-time to full-time.
Miss Tracy has been with the court since February of 2010.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? So it will be 5 years next month. She was promoted, oh, tell me when. September, August?
September 8th.
Okay. From program assistant to juvenile court officer. Tracy has been an asset to the restorative justice unit. We've moved her around to do many different job duties. Does she complain? No. Does she do what I ask her to do? She does. And another thing that really gets me about Tracy is she really loves these kids and their families. And she goes over and beyond. And I tell her all the time, Tracy, you're doing the most. You're gonna burn yourself out. Let the parent do their part. But she's holding everybody in the family. She's holding everybody's hand, you know, trying to just take them step by step, you know, along the way. And she does this with every single case. So she's been a joy to have. I love her like I love everybody in the unit. It was a well-deserved promotion, Tracy.
Tracy?
Wow. I'm exhausted. It took me a long time to get here. No, no, but I had told Tanya that since we was doing this thing together that she was going to speak on behalf of us. Tanya, come on. No, but again, it's an honor to work with you guys. It's been a pleasure. I love you guys, and I promise you that, and I promise everybody, I'm gonna do the best I can while I'm here. Sometimes I do go overboard, and Ms. Barker had to say, that's too much, you're doing the most. And I'll be like, well, they need me, Ms. Barker, they need me. So, but again, if you see me overdoing things, just say, hey, come back. Amen. But thank y'all, and I appreciate it, all right? Thank you.
Right.
Tanya started working with us in August 2012?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she was promoted in November full-time. The thing about Tanya is that when she started working, she got everything quickly. She got in the groove quickly. And so when she got promoted full-time, it turned out that we were going through a shift change. Leandra went out on maternity leave, Winnie decided to move on, and so she was like stuck with, okay, I got this caseload, I'm still doing my old job. And so she managed to juggle that easily. She did a fantastic job. She still continues to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Excuse me.
It's okay, girl.
And she get a little choked up. You can't even touch my heart, girl.
I understand.
So she also has a love for these people, much like Tracy. You will hear Tanya talking to somebody saying, okay, dear, it's gonna be okay, sweetie. And you're like, really? Okay, but she does care for these families and these children, and that's what we love to work with. So I'm so glad that both of you are, you know, full-time in the unit.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. Ms. Fluker said a mouthful, so I'm not going to stand up here and talk a lot because a lot of y'all know I do run my mouth a lot. But I am just very thankful.
So you like me?
Yes, Judge Teskey. I love to talk, and I love attention. Yes, I do. But I'm just very, very thankful for this opportunity and to continue to work here for the county.
Yeah. And, you know, Tanya, Trace, I just want to say, you know, y'all been working here for some time, you know, in your part-time capacity. And they're absolutely correct, okay? My observations are, you know, are ditto, okay? And I'm so proud of both of y'all and so happy that y'all are full-time and able to take your talent and gift from a part-time basis to a full-time basis. And I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we have some promotions that we want to share. I'm going to ask Kathy and Jennifer to come on up here. Yes.
Jennifer is a PO2. Anybody that knows Jennifer knows why she was promoted to a PO2. Her work ethics, her knowledge of intake is just wonderful. Plus, I was going out on medical leave. I needed somebody to take over intake, which she did outstanding job the 4 weeks I was out. So she is such an asset to this court.
Well, I don't have too much to say other than a big thank you. Over the past 4 years almost that I've been working here, I've got to know a lot of amazing people and a bunch of hard workers, and I really am appreciative of everybody here. So a big thank you to everybody.
I can't remember. Did you start off as an intern here, or I can't remember?
Intern with Ponda, the DA's office.
In the DA's office. Okay, gotcha.
She was receptionist for intake.
You were a receptionist for
Third
intake,
floor.
and then, because if I remember, you were just you just wanted to get in so bad over here that you were going to take anything just to get your
Yep.
foot in the door. Am I
did,
recollecting
too.
right? And that's determination. That makes me feel good. That people are banging on this door wanting to get in, and they don't care how they get in. They don't mind committing a burglary to get in. Okay? All right, there we go. Since we're putting everything in terms of runaway status, starting with Judge Simmons, to locking up the house to keep people here. Okay?
Yeah, she started as intake assistant.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much,
Thank
Judge.
you very much.
I'm going to have John and Colin, John being the court administrator, and then Colin the chief of staff, and it was the three of us who interviewed India for this position.
But India has proven me wrong, and I also am on the executive board of the Juvenile Court Association of Georgia. India has been there for many years. I can always count on India. India's trustworthy, dependable. She has a work ethic second to none, and this has been my right hand for years, and I appreciate it.
So I've had the opportunity to watch India kind of grow up here at the court, and have supervised her directly and indirectly for quite a few years. So I was very comfortable when her name came up in the discussion about filling this position. And India has an attention to detail like none that I've seen, honestly. She's flexible, she has initiative, all of those things are required for a position that is still developing this special juvenile justice programs unit. So it was an easy decision in that regard, and I appreciate everything she's done over the years and her dedication to the kids and families of this court that we serve. So thank you.
Well, I just want to take time to thank Judge Teskey, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Slay, for believing in me and giving me this opportunity. I will do my best and continue to do my best in this position. And I do want to thank the employees who I supervise. They do an awesome job. They are dedicated, hardworking, and passionate at what they do, and they make my job pretty easy, and we work well as a team. I will say that. And thank you all for working with me.
So thank you very much, India, for stepping up and helping make the Second Chance program a national model for us, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I want to go ahead and recognize, because I told you earlier that Judge Butler had an early morning commitment and couldn't be here right away. Judge Butler is here. She's back in the corner, hiding, okay? All right, yes. And I would like for for Judge Butler and Judge Simmons to come up at this time and make remarks to these persons who've been sworn in and who've been identified and who've been promoted.
I want to say welcome to all the new employees. I didn't recognize some of you. My good friend Tracy, I did recognize her. And but to all of you, I thank you so much. The work that you all do really is a great benefit to the community, as well as us. The information that you provide, the work that you do with the families, those are areas that we can't necessarily directly impact, and your effort and your commitment shows, and we appreciate it, and thank you so much for everything.
You know, sometimes, even as judges, we don't see the big picture. We don't see the whole picture. We don't really see everything that this court is doing. And when you look at our stats and you see them and they're so impressive, if you don't watch yourself, you begin to question, are we lying? Are we really this good?
Yes.
I mean, really, you will begin to question yourself. You begin to think about, I know we all have our children, like, for example, my Joshua Shubricks. Okay? You keep seeing that child over and over, And you say, are we really doing all these things? But you have to understand, this court is so good that we get down to the deep end youth. And you're going to see them again. And sometimes you wonder, you say, are we doing the right thing? Because I see this child, I keep seeing him over and over. But we ignore all the children that we work with that we never see again. We don't really appreciate restorative justice like we should. We don't appreciate mediation. We don't appreciate probation. We don't. Because we think, because we don't see them, that they're not part of the problem, that they're not part of what we deal with in this court. We only think about the people we see over and over.
I'd like to thank the supervisors, first of all, for their interviewing process, their selection process to continue to get top-notch people in here to make us one of the #1 courts in the nation. And I want to thank all of y'all for doing the job that you do, because y'all make our job a lot easier. And even though we get the credit, y'all are the ones just doing the work. And thank y'all.
And just reiterate that the work that we do is vitally important. We can't afford to have off days here, because when we mess up, it affects families and children. So I just encourage you all to come in here, do your best every day, and do the best that you can do in the interactions with the kids and families, and enjoy the benefits that you may not ever see. When we do our jobs right, we don't see the kids come back. Every now and then, I've been doing this job long enough, I'll be in Publix or somewhere, and I'll run into a former kid, and they'll say something, and it lets me know, okay, I did get through to them. And those are the wins that we have to seek. So congratulations and welcome.
In closing, and immediately after, I want all of those who have come up here, along with their chiefs as well, we want to do a group photo. First of all, I want to comment on my colleagues here. I've been on the bench now going on 16 years, as you know, okay? And I'm a past president of the Council of Juvenile Court Judges. I know all the judges in the state and being in a leadership position, but I can say there is really not another court in this state that has the camaraderie among its multiple judges in any circuit than we do. And that I am very proud to be serving alongside Judge Butler and Judge Simmons. And, they have helped this court in many ways to continue to grow, not only just simply to sustain the national court status. You are going to be receiving today in an email a press release that is going to be going out to the newspapers and other news outlets today about Judge Butler. I have everyone here. Judge Butler, again, in the same vein of promoting the national status of this court, has been accepted as a 0 to 3 fellow. And let me explain what that is. And I want you to know that's a very prestigious fellowship, okay? Another 0 to 3 fellow in the state is Judge Peggy Walker, also a past president of the Council of Juvenile Court Judges, and is now the sitting president of the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges. And a 0 to 3 is a special field in research. We now know that kids, all of us today, our personalities were primarily formed between the ages of 0 to 3. 0 to 3. Remember, kids become adults. And what we're finding out is that most of the kids that we find that are in the delinquency system, experience trauma between ages 0 to 3. And she is going to be specially trained in this research, 0 to 3, to become a 0 to 3 fellow. I want you to know that both these judges, just as we divide our labor here. In case you don't know this, we divide our labor amongst us, okay? And when they came on, I asked them, okay, to identify areas that they would, because knowing that I do a lot of juvenile justice expertise, right? Okay. So they immediately got involved in the court improvement project, okay, on the dependency side, abused and neglected children, all right? And so they attend all those meetings. These are very intensive meetings about how to improve your dependency system in your court to make it a model court on the dependency side, just as we are a model court on the delinquency side. Now, I want you to know that, you know, Judge Butler just recently mentioning the 0 to 3 when she told me that she was accepted as a fellow. She looked at me, she said, Judge, okay, the delinquency system is not going to be the only system in this court that's a national model. I'm here to tell you that I want to make the dependency system a national model as well. Man, that makes, you know, that isn't it great to work with people like that? So you're going to get all the details today, okay? And my job is to get it into the newspapers, all right? But I just want to share how much I appreciate y'all in the hard work and keep sustaining us, but more, growing us even further. Thank you so much. John and Colin, I just want to say this. I cannot ask for any better administrators, okay? You know, they're the ones who take care of all the business, and the way that you do it is excellent, and I appreciate it so much. As a presiding judge, I could not for asking, you know, and I don't know, I may continue the next presiding judge. It may be one of them, okay? All I know is whoever is the next presiding judge, you're going to be real lucky, or I'm going to be real lucky. We're very fortunate as judges, okay?